Hi, my name is Kristina Williams. I'm the President and CEO of Alberta Enterprise Corporation. AEC, our mandate is to create access to venture capital for Alberta-based technology companies so they can start and grow here in the province. Alberta's technology industry is really taking off. We announced a couple of weeks ago a record-breaking VC investments in the province with a 100% increase compared to 2019. And that's while the rest of Canada, or Canada as a whole, was down 29% in VC investments. Today, we're releasing our fourth deal flow study. Every couple of years, we do a study to see how many technology companies do we have in the province, where are they located, what sector and stages are they at, and how are they growing. The 2021 study was co-authored by PwC with their team that does the Money Tree report, and also my team at AEC. So thank you to everyone that put in a lot of hard work to make this happen. In 2012, when we did our first study, we identified 700 technology companies. In this study that we're releasing today, we have identified more than 3,000 technology companies in Alberta. So that's an incredible growth. And not only are we adding companies, we're also maturing them. If we look at technology companies that are earning more than $1 million in revenue, that's had a 66% increase since 2018. The study also shows that we have a very diverse and inclusive tech industry in Alberta. 50% of startup founders are identifying themselves as visible minorities, and almost 30% of the founders and co-founders are female. And that you can compare to the global average of 20%. And as a female investor, that makes me incredibly happy to see. Today, we'll hear from some of the entrepreneurs that are really making this happen. But before we do, this kind of study would not happen unless we had a very supportive government and the Ministry of Jobs, Economy and Innovation. And therefore, I'd like to introduce Minister Doug Schweitzer.
Thank you so much, Kristina, for your leadership at Alberta Enterprise Corporation and everything that you're doing to help build out. It's no longer an emerging tech sector in Alberta. This is a maturing tech sector and maturing rapidly as we're seeing exponential growth in the number of tech sector companies in Alberta. And it's just encouraging to see that record growth in venture capital, the number of companies that are growing here in Alberta. And we've said this earlier on, where Alberta is now a player in the tech sector in Canada, but we don't want to just rest on this. We want to become a dominant player in Canada, where we see continued success, continued momentum in the tech space. Reports out of the first quarter of this year as well have been very encouraging for 2021, continuing that momentum. And it builds on the Alberta experience, where we're used to taking risks. We're used to that entrepreneurial spirit, and we're just seeing that next generation of entrepreneurs that historically likely would have started up a junior oil and gas company are now starting up tech and venture companies right here at home. And it's encouraging to see them get to that critical mass of growth. And just really, we want to say thank you to all of them for all of their hard efforts, advocacy, everything that they're trying to do here in Alberta, because we're seeing them create hundreds of jobs in some of these companies. You're going to hear the stories of the rapid growth that's happening in Alberta. And some of these companies are going from 20 employees one year to 250 employees in the following year. And they're continuing to hire hundreds more year over year after that. So it's really encouraging to see this emerging market here for Alberta. And it builds on the diversification of what we're trying to accomplish in our province. We're seeing a rebound in our traditional economic drivers, but we want to as well diversify what we have to offer to people, and particularly young people in Alberta that are looking for career opportunities. So the tech sector is key. We're seeing immense growth in our film industry. We're also seeing huge growth as well in renewables. So it's encouraging to see the direction where Alberta is going, where many people are forecasting Alberta to lead the country in growth this year, as well as job creation. So thank you so much, Kristina, for everything that you're doing. I just want to introduce now, we've got Irfan Raji from Mob Squad. And again, this is a cool story. And I just want to highlight that, what they're doing at Mob Squad, and then you're going to hear from Cement as well. This is some cool activity that's happening right here in Alberta, and we have to continue to champion these innovators that are right here in our province. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Irfan.
Good morning, and thank you, Minister, as well as the team at Alberta Enterprise Corporation for the opportunity to join you here today for this very exciting announcement regarding our technology ecosystem here in Alberta. My name is Irfan Raji, and I'm a partner at Relay Ventures, which is a leading venture capital firm with offices in Menlo Park, Toronto, and here in Calgary. I'm also the founder and CEO, as the Minister said, of Mob Squad, which is a Relay-incubated startup. Mob Squad is actually a national technology company from coast to coast. We have offices in Vancouver, Halifax, Toronto, but we're headquartered right here in Calgary. Attracting and retaining technology talent is critical to our technology ecosystem. And at Mob Squad, that's what we do. We bring high-end technology talent. Think of artificial intelligence, machine learning engineers, cybersecurity specialists. We bring them from around the world to Canada to be part of our ecosystem. Our talent is from places such as Russia, China, India, Vietnam, Portugal, Egypt, Ukraine, Turkey, and many other places. Our growth mimics the hypergrowth that we're seeing in our startup ecosystem. From launching at a standing start less than 3 years ago, we're on track to achieve more than $10 million US of recurring revenue later this year. But from my perspective, it's not just about growth, and it's not just about jobs. It's about high-quality jobs. 10 years ago, young people studying in our universities would look forward and say, how do I get myself a high-quality six-figure job? And they'd study petrochemical engineering because those opportunities were what was available. Well, I'm here to share that we've transitioned and are transitioning our economy and our ecosystem, because today, while our average software engineer at Mob Squad is only about 30 years old, their average salary is $130,000. So I look today to University of Calgary and Mount Royal students and I say, if you're thinking about how to stay in this city and have a high-quality job, study computer science, because companies like Mob Squad and Cement have plenty of opportunity for you. Allow me to share one last thing about Mob Squad that our team is very proud of. For a little Calgary-based company that was launched a little under 3 years ago, we've been recognized around the world for our work and talent. In the last year, we've been featured in the New York Times, on NPR multiple times, in the Financial Times, in the Times of India. We were the cover story of Harvard Business Review's December edition called Work From Anywhere, and we've been in many other media outlets. Harvard Business School actually wrote a case on Mob Squad and innovation and growth. From another perspective in our ecosystem, looking at today's report, let me speak to this as an investor and partner with Relay Ventures. I certainly concur with the study's findings. The numbers are very impressive, but what's more impressive are the companies behind these numbers. I'm fortunate to get to meet with them daily. There are more of them. They have better ideas, stronger innovation, stronger teams, and better traction. More than we had here 2 years ago and certainly 4 years ago. Alberta is on the right track. Thank you again, Kristina, and the team at Alberta Enterprise Corporation for your hard work in making this happen. And finally, Minister, I've known you to be one of, if not the hardest working politicians I've ever met. I'm glad to see all of your hard work pay off in these important success metrics and in today's exciting announcement. Congratulations. I'm excited now to introduce a colleague in the ecosystem, Tiffany Kaminsky, who's the co-founder and chief marketing officer of one of our greatest Calgary technology companies, Cement. Welcome, Tiffany.
First off, I'd really like to start by thanking Alberta Enterprise, as well as the Minister, for all the incredible work you've been doing. My name is Tiffany Kaminsky. I am the co-founder and chief marketing officer at Cement. I started Cement about 4 years ago alongside my co-founder, Hanif Joshagani, and we really started it to solve a problem of looking to people who fall behind and have past due bills. We looked at how do we approach this and provide a solution, which we both felt very firsthand, to make this a more positive outcome for everyone involved. We set out to have a really strong social impact in both the tech ecosystem and the clients and customers that we serve. We dive into the opportunity to help customers get access to services and plans that they need the most as they face financial difficulties. And we also help the clients that we serve build world-class brands and help embrace those relationships for long-term. With that, today's Cement's digital engagement platform uses behavioral science and customer-driven insights to help customers resume their past due bills and get back into good standing. With that, we help enterprises to engage, and our vision is to transform this on a global scale. Today, we work with all of the major telecommunication companies in Canada and North America, as well as major multinational banks, and we continue to expand that footprint as we now launched in APAC and Latin America. With that, our team has raised over $100 million in funding for an Alberta tech startup, which is pretty incredible over the past 4 years. With that, we are really looking at how do we win on both a global scale for Alberta from right here in our own backyard as we continue to gain momentum. In January of 2020, we had only 50 employees on our team. Today, we have over 260. So an incredible amount of growth, with over 80% of those residing in Alberta. We're building a diverse global workforce. With that, we tap into the energy sector as they look for their next steps and pivot into the technology. As well, we're very passionate about looking at creating diverse and effective teams. On our team today, we have 36% women, with nearly 40% of them holding leadership roles. I'm really passionate about making sure that we're creating a great tech ecosystem. Companies are deciding not only to build their businesses here in Alberta, but deciding to stay because it's the right decision for their business. And really, as we continue to grow and look at the opportunity, it's really exciting to get behind and see the traction that we've gained for the Alberta tech ecosystem. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will now go to the phones if anyone has any questions. Operator, can you please put through the first caller?
First question is Jesse Weisner with Global TV. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. This is for the Minister. My apologies, it's a bit off topic. Recently, the proposal window for vaccine development and manufacturing closed in Alberta. How many companies applied, and what specifically is the government looking for when it comes to bolstering a made-in-Alberta industry on vaccine development, and have you committed a dollar value?
Thank you for that question. So we conducted a request for proposals. We received 17 proposals from companies here in Alberta, national companies here in Canada, international proposals as well. We're currently conducting due diligence. We want to make sure that we're able to deal with the pandemic here in the long-term lens. We obviously are reliant in Canada on international imports of vaccines to deal with our most immediate and pressing concerns. But longer term, we want to make sure we look at this in the same way that you have national security, so you invest in your military. You want to make sure you have a stable food supply. So right now we're looking at how do we leverage the immense buying power of one unified health service that we have in our province. We're unique in Canada in that regard, in the fact that we have AHS. And we want to make sure that we can leverage that buying power to make sure we have a stable supply of critical health products long term. We don't ever want to be kind of put in a situation where vaccine nationalism can slow down our ability to continue to provide for the health of our citizens. So we're doing that right now. And as far as timing goes, right now we're conducting that due diligence rapidly. We want to make sure that we're ready if booster shots are needed in the future. We want to make sure that we're ready and can move as quickly as we can. Alberta has immense building blocks. The fact that we have a Nobel Prize winner at the University of Alberta that's already currently developing vaccines, and we have expertise and foundational elements right here in our province. We've got 2 companies that are in human trials on vaccines that have a presence here in Alberta as well. So we are optimistic about our ability to become a significant contributor to this industry for our entire country. I think that Alberta has a significant role to play in that area. And we're going to move quickly on this because we have to make sure that we're ready if there's any future issues we have to deal with for booster shots and second term or sort of kind of iterations relating to any mutations of the vaccine of COVID.
And do you have a follow-up, Jesse?
No, thank you very much.
Great. I think that's everyone in the queue unless we've got another person that jumps in.
There don't appear to be any further questions at this time.
Great.
Thank you, everybody.